So, hi Nicole.
Hi Liam.
So, we just finished.
Yes.
Just been on the M62 and the M606, and it's bank holiday and it's 2022, and as you can hear, there's sirens behind us and things. It's been an absolutely crazy journey because there's been massive traffic. It's been traffic everywhere. We got stuck and we had to divert, and then we had to go into some places that were really complex and following the sat nav and things. And so when you first came to do this course, on a scale of 1 to 10, where were you at with anxiety in driving?
12.
12.
Probably.
12, okay, fine. Would you just want to give a little bit of background on that so people can understand where you're coming from and how it all came about?
So I moved to England in 2016 and I used to drive on the motorway, but for some reason I started feeling really anxious on the motorway, and I stopped driving and I was avoiding the motorway like hell for I think that's now 2 or 3 years, 3 years potentially, that I've stopped driving on the motorway. I was refusing, and I would choose avoid motorways on my sat nav. And because clearly I work and I have to travel, and we like traveling and going to places with my partner, I felt that this had to stop. I had to overcome this anxiety and enjoy driving again, not just on the motorways, but generally. So that's why I started looking at how ways that I could overcome the anxiety. I did a little bit of a research, and because specialists, and I mean driving instructors that deal with anxiety on the motorways at the time were really busy, I went with someone who wasn't trained to do this particular job. Be careful, because it may make your anxiety worse. You need to refer to a specialist to help you with the process. It's quite a bit of a process. You need to trust it. In the beginning, it might not make sense. I was a bit skeptical, but in the end, because there are steps, in the end, everything comes together, and you will find yourself that you will overcome your anxiety it's going to be a little bit of a strange thing in the beginning, but in the end it all comes together very nicely, and you'll get your anxiety sorted. The first time that we drove on the motorway, I was feeling anxious indeed, but then again there was a process that we followed. And I won't lie, I probably find it fun now. So the scale now has probably gone down to 2.
So you've gone from, what was it, 15 did you say?
12, 15,
12,
16,
15,
20, yeah. I don't
20,
remember. Yeah,
okay.
it was 12, yeah.
And now we're down to 2?
Yes.
Okay, and you said the journey we've just done was fun?
Well, the journey, I find driving on the motorway, I'm not as stressed as I'm 2, and I probably find it fun as well. Today's journey was really challenging because of all the traffic.
It really was.
Yeah, but there was nothing that we couldn't overcome, and clearly the skills, that everything that we discussed in the sessions, the fine-tuning of the skills was just there in practice, and it was on the motorway as I was driving.
Very good. When you first began, I remember there was a lot of resistance. Do you remember when we pulled up and I was trying to coach you to go a little bit further on the M62?
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. Would you like to say anything about that?
Right, okay. So we started the sessions, and I thought that we were going to go straight on the motorway. That's not the case. There is a little bit of a process. And the first time that we actually went on the motorway, which was a little bit of a stretch just to experience the M62. Clearly we've done the M606 in the beginning, and that was fine. I felt fine with the M606. But then, as soon as I heard M62, I was like, again, red lights, tin, 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 tin. But we did that little bit of a stretch, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And then we pulled over, and because that's the process. And when Liam asked me to go a little bit further down, I was like, no, we're not. No, we're not going to do that. Why? But why? It's a little bit more stress. No, I don't want to do it. My brain was so... It just didn't want me to do it.
Yeah.
So...
No, that was fine. I mean, that was
Yeah.
okay. You were where you were at, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. And we've really pushed on from that today. And so today, we've done a session, and like it's been mentioned before, very, very challenging today. Lots of things happened. And to be honest, I don't really think I gave you much help at all. I just gave you direction. I was just helping the sat nav, and that's about it. So final bit, because we're coming up to about 6 minutes now. So is there anything you'd like to say to anybody who's going through this, thinking, I don't know if I should do this, wondering whether it's going to pick up the phone or send the email or anything like that? Is there any words of advice you'd like to give to anybody listening?
So first of all, after that little bit of a stretch we did to Bridge House, we finally ended up in the next session going further down to Saddleworth, which is a longer stretch. And that's where I found that it's fine. I'm fine. And today clearly was the challenging bit. To whoever is listening to this recording, I would just like to say that Liam is God sent.
Thank you.
And there is a process that he follows. There are steps. I was a bit skeptical in the beginning, but you have to trust the process. In the end, you will see that everything comes together very nicely, and you will be back on the motorway, believe it or not. You will be back on the motorway.
I like that. I like that. That's lovely. Right. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that helps anybody that's listening.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Good luck, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.